Greetings, my fellow kindred. I am Joshua Schaefer, the storyteller for New Orleans by Night, and we're doing something a bit different this week. As always, we are sponsored by Cajun Gamer, who gives us this wonderful play space. We are here. We're just doing a little bit of a different thing tonight with a different background. We are also sponsored by Ars93D, who do these awesome mugs, and the link to their Kickstarter will be down in the description. Tonight we are doing side plots from the game, so everybody will have some individual scenes, some will be with other players, and we're just kind of doing a little bit of house cleaning. So with that being said, on with the show. Alright, so our first scene is going to be set at a goth/biker bar called The Dungeon. Violet has been asked to be here by Seth to kind of clear the air about a few things. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of heavy metal music, everything is blacklit, there's a bar, there are people milling about, nobody's dancing because it's not that kind of place. But it's full of a bunch of like grizzled old biker dudes and goth people, and everybody's drinking and kind of hanging out and being loud. As you walk in the back corner by himself, he's not with the rest of his coterie, you see Seth, and he looks a little angry. What do you do?
I'm just gonna go walk up to him.
Okay. So, before you even sit down, what the fuck happened?
Yeah. I'm still kind of trying to figure that part out myself.
I mean, I'm more concerned about whether I get to walk around after sundown, because supposedly your prince declared a blood hunt and then canceled said blood hunt. And seems like he really needs to make up his fucking mind.
We went back to where we kind of first coming after you guys.
I don't like how you put that.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. But you know that's not what I meant.
Okay, look. This is what I have from my point of view, and then maybe you can kind of fill in the blanks for me.
Shoot.
We get told that we have to go before the prince. The prince isn't there. We have to go before the seneschal, who looks like Lady Gaga on meth. And then shit starts exploding, and people start dying. And if I wasn't as fast as I fucking am, I'd probably be with the rest of my coterie right now. You know where they are? They're fucking dead!
Yeah, look. Technically, didn't want to be a part of all this bullshit. You could blame the asshole of a prince that I'm forced to kind of listen to.
I mean, yeah, okay. I'm with you on that so far.
But
that still doesn't explain why I walked into a situation that I didn't want to be in the first fucking place. That you and yours said that we were gonna be safe. Especially that little asshole in the coat, who, by the way, I'm going to kick the living shit out of the next time I see him. Regardless of his Harry Potter magic bullshit. And, you know, all of a sudden, shit starts blowing up. And then we catch the blame for it. Somebody dropped the fucking ball somewhere. I'd like to know where.
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out too. We know it's not you.
Oh, who the fuck burned down the warehouses?
That we're still trying to figure out. Actually, that was kind of,
You're not telling me something.
Burning down, that was a little bit our Travis's fault. Look, he kind of went all feral beastie mode, even though I find it kind of fucking hot. He got pissed, burned a couple of kindred in there, and then, long story short, we did end up taking one as hostage.
Well, were they the ones who made the fucking bomb?
We were getting to that until so said pissed off prince decided to kill the only person that may have known what the hell happened. And that's when he called off the frickin' blood hunt on you guys.
Okay, so nobody's after Thin Bloods, well, any more than usual.
As far as, yeah.
Okay. Let's just say I'm still not entirely ready to trust any of you.
Mm-hmm.
All the joking between me and you aside, you're still a full-blooded fucking kindred.
Yeah.
And I can't trust you.
When did you ever want to trust me?
Oh, I wanted to trust you. I figured of all the little fuckers you hang around with, you'd probably be the straight shooter. I know a little bit about your clan. You don't tend to mince words. And you certainly don't lie.
Yeah, as much as I would love to, though.
So, what the fuck? Because, I mean, I invited you here tonight, and I'm not going to lie to you. You're in fucking danger right now.
Oh, believe me, I know.
Every single other person in here, well, for the most part, yeah, they're all werewolves.
I know.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Just so we're on the same page here. Our leader, they decided that I should seek you out.
Big shocker.
They decided, for some fucking reason, that you should be given another chance. Not your coterie, just you. And since you claim to not like the prince so much...
I don't like any of the princes.
That's immaterial. But since you claim to not like La Fontaine, I'm inclined to agree with our leader at the moment. And that's honestly the only reason you're still alive right now.
I only thought I was still alive is because you may have some type of little crush on me.
Like I said, all joking aside, you're still a fucking kindred. And whereas I may be a thin blood, I may be half dead, you're still a full-blooded fucking kindred. And I'm kind of disinclined to trust anything that can walk around without a pulse. Especially since, surprise, surprise, shit goes south and the first people that get blamed are the Duskborn. So, this is what my leader has decided to put on the table. And for you, and you alone.
I'm listening.
You have the option to join us.
Join you.
Oh yeah, it's not just thin bloods in the court. There are kindred. Few as they may be, there are kindred in the court.
And I'm getting a very strong notion that there is a catch involved in this.
Oh, there's no catch. You can join us or you can't. Trust me, this isn't me. I wouldn't be offering you this. But my leader apparently sees something in you. They want to offer you a membership into the Court of Miracles because of that. I don't know what it is. All joking aside, sweet cheeks, you can join, you cannot join, you can fuck off and kiss the sunlight for all I care.
Let's see. Join a bunch of thin bloods.
Think about it.
Or
No.
keep putting up with the prince's bullshit and stupid actions.
They don't want you to answer tonight. Think about it. Because if you do decide to join us, your loyalties are going to have to change just a little bit.
Describe that.
Well, obviously you're not going to be working for the prince anymore.
That I can give two shits about.
A few of your coterie mates are going to have to take a back seat. Particularly the Tremere. We don't trust Tremere. Tricky bastards. All of them. I'm going to be straight with you, sweet cheeks. There's some shit that's about to go down. Particularly with that little mistake one of your coterie up and decided to make.
Believe me, I had no part in that bullshit.
I don't care. Word got around fast.
I bet it did.
You need to put her on a leash. Somebody needs to start teaching her and this is coming from a thin blood. Someone needs to start teaching her the rules. Because y'all have had a kindred for 4 nights now that no one has even explained the Masquerade to.
I'll pass that little note along to her so-called father.
Well, I don't care what her sire does. But she's becoming a problem, and the bodies are starting to mount up.
Yeah, she is.
It was funny at first. In fact, all of us were laughing really hard until some of us who were a little more touched, descendant from the clan of the moon. Well, every now and again, they manage to tap into that big fucking hive mind that they all have on accident, and they're starting to hear some things that's a little more concerning. I'm not going to go into it right now because honestly, I don't have the time or the want, but apparently she's a little bit more important than y'all seem to think. Y'all need to get her under control.
I can't really promise that, but
I'm not concerned about what you
try.
can and can't promise. This is not one of those try. This is to steal from George Lucas. This is a do or do not. She's your coterie's responsibility. And yeah, even the Thin Bloods will step up and kill her if we have to. I'm kind of surprised she doesn't have a blood hunt on her already, because she's not exactly being subtle.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked by that too.
So, may want to have a word with your coterie mates. But, that's neither here nor there. That's some friendly advice from me. Think about what you've been offered.
Fine.
And
I'll
get
think
back
about
to
it.
me.
Anything else?
Not really. And with that, he just completely ghosts you and gets up and walks away.
Well, shit. One big happy fucking family.
Alright, so right after sunset, you took off. And it's a good 30-40 minute drive outside the city. Like, you're out in the sticks, you're out in the swamp, you're out in the middle of nowhere. In fact, you were actually out in werewolf country. So, take that for what you will. When you come across, you honestly feel the ward, though it doesn't resist you. And it is a ward specifically designed to let in Tremere only. So you cross that line, and eventually the road does actually get better shape. It's still gravel, but it's not, potholes every 3 feet like, typical Louisiana roads. And it's still another 5-10 minutes before you see this big, massive plantation manor house. and you pull up to the front gate. What do you do?
That gravel road must have been hell for Travis because he got there on a motorcycle. So, Travis is just gonna pop the kickstand. He drives a white motorcycle he calls the Hound of Tindalos.
Roll eyes.
He'll just find somewhere to park it, pop the kickstand, and approach the
Okay,
house.
this is going to be one of the few rolls of the night. Roll me wits and awareness. In fact, take the whole tray to, the couch back up because you got way too close to the camera right there.
Yep. 2.
2. Surprisingly, that is actually enough. You feel like you're being watched.
That does not surprise me. Travis will just knock on the door.
Well, you're at a
He's
gate.
expected. Oh, at a gate. Okay.
It is a big metal gate. Surprisingly very good shape.
Mm-hmm.
That is ensconced between 2 rather large natural stone pillars. And further by that is more iron gate with another stone pillar about every 15 feet, going as pretty much as far as you can see into the woods.
Is the gate locked? Can I just push it open?
You push on it. It is not locked by any visible lock, but it does resist you.
Mm.
The feeling you're being watched is getting stronger.
Well, Travis was invited here, so he assumes he's just supposed to wait until he's let in.
Okay. Eventually you do see a person wearing a black and red robe coming down the driveway from the Manor House.
Oh, good. I'm already dressed for the occasion.
Yeah. They get there, and as they approach the gate, they wave their hand. And the gate opens. Oh, it's you. Okay. We wondered how somebody got this far and was, still alive.
I was invited, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, come on in. Just, be glad you're at Tremere, or, well, I'm sure the gargoyles would have made short work of you. About that time, you actually hear movement out in the trees. Oh, come on. Come. Let's go up to the Manor House. You're here to meet the Assistant Regent, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, he takes you up to the Manor House, which is quite grandiose and quite in very good condition, despite it being very old. And you get the feeling that it's mostly kept together by magic.
Mm-hmm.
He ushers you into the door and into the grand vestibule, and it is indeed grand. There is a staircase leading up to a balcony that goes either way. Think the main room from
Resident
Evil. Yeah,
one? Yeah.
You're not far off there from the Spencer estate, except that there are actual there are kindred milling about here and there. A few Tremere talking and things. They cut you eyes, and their conversations instantly lower in volume. If you follow me, he leads you into a room to the right, down a hallway, and he leads you into a kind of a sitting area. Just wait here; he'll be with you shortly. And
Right.
turns around and leaves. Probably about 5 minutes go by, and a man walks in. He has sandy blonde hair, brown eyes, oddly enough, and he's dressed well, but not overly so. He's not wearing a robe or anything like that. He sits down. Ah, good. You finally decided to show up.
Yes, we had some troubles with our ingratiating ourselves to the prince.
I also hear you had some troubles with Sabat.
Yes.
Good work there. Maybe a touch over the top, but it cleaned up easily enough.
Warehouse full of fertilizer. It's not hard to cover up a fire.
Fair. My name is Marcus. I am the assistant regent to Alexander. You won't be meeting him anytime soon.
I would not be surprised by that. I've been to a few chantries around the country, and it's not often I get to meet the regent.
Our regent is, well, that may be the case, but our regent is even more of a recluse. We do have a few rules here. Chief amongst them is check your politics at the door. Camarilla, Anarch, Ikanu, whatever you have, here you are Tremere and you are Tremere first. This is a place of study, a place of learning, not a place for espousing political ideology. We hear that you're a Nodist.
I am, yes. I've studied much of Beckett's work.
Oh.
He was an influence for me.
Yes, I know Cuthbert. He's a rather interesting fellow. One of the few non-Tremere who actually has a standing invitation here. He actually has a standing invitation to visit our regent whenever he wishes. They were colleagues at some point.
I tend to specialize in other supernatural creatures as well.
Oh.
Their weaknesses and how to defend oneself from them.
Give me an example.
He holds up his hand, and the silver rings that I don't have with me right now flash across his fingers.
Well, I mean, silver is very obvious way to take care of werewolves.
Of course.
How would you deal with a fey folk?
Cold iron, correct?
Ah, impressive. You do know your stuff. Okay, well, you are free to study in the library on the first floor. Do stay away from the second floor for the moment. That's where the chantry-only secrets are kept, and you haven't quite ingratiated yourself with us enough yet. We had expected you long before now, but we understand that you've been busy.
Yes.
We tend to not get too involved in the local Camarilla.
I'm simply doing what I must to
Oh no,
keep in good standing.
I totally understand, and trust me, keeping in good standing with the Camarilla is not necessarily a bad thing. Just know where your loyalties lie is all that I ask. So, what exactly are you looking for to further yourself in the knowledge of magic?
I am looking mostly for protection, to protect those that are dear to me, to protect.
Such as warding magic, or something
Wards,
with a little more punch to
something punch is good, yes.
it.
I have experimented. I'm sure you've heard.
You seem to be very well versed in the lore of flame.
That was not all me, I will admit.
Well, we
The
heard
hunger.
we heard that you rode the wave rather successfully.
The beast can be as much a tool as it can be a hindrance.
Be careful what you call the beast. It doesn't necessarily like to be called a tool. Well, you're free to study here as you desire, but keeping with where we tell you to go.
Of course.
There are some layers within the mansion that some of our more experimental works are kept, and it not only would be wrong for you to travel there without our permission, it would actually be most dangerous. So bear that in mind. Do you have any questions for me?
What do you know of the Chantry in New York?
Not much. I've actually, as they say, never been north of the Mason-Dixon line. I have heard whispers, but much as our regent is a a loner, I'm very much one too. I don't tend to listen to kindred rumor so much as kindred fact. And certainly none of the political
Of
garbage.
Well, as we are behind closed doors, I believe it prudent to disclose to you that I am no longer welcome in that chantry. Or that domain.
You must have made someone angry.
Some powerful Tremere there, in fact.
Ah. Well, I will say that when I said that we are open to all Tremere here, that was maybe an exaggeration. There are quite a few Tremere who aren't welcome here. Chief amongst them being Karna, Goratrix, and Shrek themselves. And that wonderful, nice young gentleman out in LA right now. Yes, trust me, if Strauss ever shows his face here, the Regent is going to have some words with him, and they will not be polite.
I've had some tertiary dealings with Strauss, but nothing direct. He was not someone I ever really cared to meet.
Yeah, well, it's my understanding, and the little bit of politics that I do here, Strauss has put himself on the bad side of quite a few barons in LA these nights, supporting a prince who is half mad.
I have not heard I've not heard good things out of LA regarding the Tremere.
Well, I mean, each of us make our choices and where our loyalties lie, but I wouldn't trust Strauss as far as I could throw him, to be honest. But you are welcome here for the meantime, as long as you don't make a nuisance of yourself. Don't give us a reason to kick you out like you did in New York. To be honest, we are not concerned with what you did there. Like I said, we are not a political chantry. We are here to further the knowledge of our blood magics.
Of course.
Okay, and you are free to look around. Have a good evening. And with that, he gets up and excuses himself. So what do you do?
Travis is going to be starting by looking through the library, looking about for rituals he's not familiar with, any esoteric knowledge of other supernatural creatures that he might not be familiar with.
Okay. Well, we'll say that you spend the rest of the night doing that. Okay. Okay, so you're hanging out at the Coterie Haven, and you hear music, loud music coming from Clara's bedroom. The door is shut. And you don't really hear anything else coming out of there because the music is drowning out whatever noise she's making. What do you do?
I just walk to her room and open the door and walk in.
Okay, oh boy. Okay, the door is indeed not locked. And as you walk in, there are a few corpses piled up. And it looks like she's been trying some of the more esoteric stuff from y'all's books.
Goodness. Hi, dearie. How are we tonight?
And she turns the music down. What?
Hi, dearie. How are we tonight?
Kind of made a mess.
I see that. You really should start cleaning up your leftovers. It's the nice thing to do. You live with other people.
Well, I mean, y'all aren't supposed to be in my room anyway.
Oh. I don't
That's
care.
why the... Okay.
So, we're going to have a chat.
About what?
About things and stuff. And the fact that you've been with us for how many nights now?
4.
Yes. Same amount of time that I've been with this coterie. It's very nice. Very interesting. But it does seem that your lovely little daddy person has been terribly remiss in your education. So I'm going to take it up.
Okay.
Just think of me as your wonderful, lovely, fairy dead mother. We're going to have so much fun together.
And how about I say no?
Oh, well, there is that option, but then I have to put you back in the body bag and give you to Violet. Yeah, I think that we should do that because really her current guest, he's starting to smell funny. We could do that. You want to do that?
Not particularly.
Okay. So I get to teach you.
Sure.
Good. You're doing this very wrong, by the way. And your music's terrible. Like, really.
It's The Cure. How is this terrible? The Cure's fantastic.
Goodness. So, were you like this before, or is this just what you've decided that, oh, I'm dead, I need to be like this now?
I mean, is there another way to be? Because it seems to be the way. Everything gets dark and you start caring about things less.
This is certainly true. Yes.
Although the nice thing is I've been able to take out my frustrations on a few ex-boyfriends who definitely needed it.
Yes. Well, you've certainly been leaving a body trail. That's a bad thing.
Why?
Because there's things like fire and sunlight and things that will kill you. And the humans might figure things out. They are stupid, but sometimes they're not.
I don't know how to respond to that.
But them being stupid?
I mean, I have only been a kindred 4 days.
Yes, which is why I'm going to start teaching you. And the first lesson, well, the second lesson, but the most important one to everyone else apparently, is that lovely thing called the Masquerade that everybody tried to talk to you about but did an absolutely terrible job. And basically that means that you can't leave a body trail.
Well, what do I do with these then? By the way, half these rituals don't work.
Yeah, you're not magic, I'm sorry. That doesn't work.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, see, nobody told me that either.
Okay, well. Okay. You need to hide the fact that you are now dead. Okay? So, you don't talk to humans, you don't see humans, you don't have anything to do with them, unless you need feed, and then you cover your tracks.
Okay, how do I go about that? How do you do it?
I'm very good at convincing people, but that's my thing. I don't know if it's your thing.
No, I like to play with shadows, apparently.
Oh, yes.
At least they seem to like me.
Yes, I don't know how to help with that. That is actually something that you're going to have to find somebody to teach you about that, because I don't know.
Well, I would go ask my vamp daddy, but he's kind of a dickhead.
Yeah. And they have been very preoccupied in making Princey happy.
Yeah, see, nobody's nobody's really explained that to me either, about this whole royalty. I mean, I've read a few of Travis's history books about the Camarilla and the Sabbat and Somebody doesn't know how to spell the word anarchy very well. But apparently that's a whole faction. And is there like a manual to this?
Unfortunately, no.
Grand. So, okay, fairy dead mother, what do?
Well, for starters, we need to clean all of this up. It really is starting to smell. I need to talk
Can
to
we
y'all
just
about
bury it in
smells.
the backyard?
Oh my good, no!
Oh,
That is our backyard. I have flowers back there.
these will feed the flowers really well.
Yes, but you might disturb them.
I mean,
But I have a hearse.
oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes everything better.
Take them somewhere.
You know, you're scary when you want to be.
Oh. Interesting. Okay.
All right, well, let's, I guess, load these up then, and then we'll toddle off.
Okay.
All right. Okay, as you're exploring the library that you've been given access to, your phone rings.
You wanted to speak to me sometime? It's not good.
Yeah, now is fine. Where do you want
I'll give you like a text telling the directions. And when you arrive, it's kind of like a not quite like burned out, but it's a pretty shitty looking building that it's like, oh, if you go in there, it might just collapse.
So pretty much the opposite of where you just were.
Yeah.
Travis texts you back with an "I'm here?" question mark.
You see over the side, you see like a rope ladder come down. You just lean over the side.
Oi, speak up.
You see a rope ladder come down, and I kind of just lean over the side expectantly and just...
Okay. Travis will climb up the rope ladder.
We go in, as that's the only working entrance. The others are kind of like collapsed. You're led inside, and it's pretty bare. There's some shabby furniture. It's very dark.
It's certainly rustic here.
I take a seat in the chair, motion you to
It's not
also
going to
take a
break,
seat.
will it?
I'll get it.
I was about to say, somebody roll a rouse check on the chair. See if it breaks.
I'll get a new one if it does. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well,
Gonna go rob a Goodwill.
you have some very peculiar feeding habits. I've become aware. And they are something I've become not unfamiliar with in these recent nights.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. I'm aware that some vampires feed exclusively on other kindred. Why? Why is that? What is it that... I understand that the
Well,
Vitae is sweeter, it's more distinct, it's stronger, but why exclusively?
well, I can tell you I wasn't made this way. It was something I chose to be.
You choose to cannibalize, to only feed on us?
You don't strike me as someone who goes out to the big open wilderness often. Have you been
No.
camping, hiking, anything like
I've
that?
been camping once or twice when I was immortal.
Likewise. I used to do it very often. In fact, that's part of the appeal of this. You get some of the smell of ash without having to deal with fire. I used to like campfires quite a bit, not so much anymore. When you're out there, you feel your place within the world and amidst all the other living things. And when I was alive, that made sense to me. In this undeath, it didn't sit well with me.
You've been removed from your place.
Yes, and it didn't sit well with me to prey upon things that couldn't really fight back. I felt weak. Something had to change. There had to be a balance, a threat of danger, so I could in some way feel alive again. Does that make sense?
It's the hunt.
Yes.
Well, I have noticed that you tend to... Well, I have little room to speak here, but you tend to suffer the hunger differently because you cannot feed on mortals.
I can.
Well, you choose not to.
It affects me in a way that would not be sustainable.
When there are no other kindred to feed on, do you need something?
That's something I'd actually like to talk about. I told you what makes me feel like I'm alive again. But I could elaborate on it more, and what's happened recently with these Sabbat. It's almost like an opportunity to me to...
It's a new hunt.
Yes, and a potential to reassert a new order. Almost like a food chain. If other kindred know, not me, but something is out there that's a threat to them, that it's not just shepherds and sheep.
I assure you that no kindred is well, I shouldn't say that. Most kindred are not so arrogant to assume that we are truly immortal. There are werewolves, there are other kindred, there are beings far more powerful than us, and even the lycanthropes.
Well, to me it seems like a coming conflict. It seems like an opportunity to find a place amidst all that to assert this desire that I have. And that makes me wonder, what is it that you want? You tend to shy away from things, appear meek. I'm not sure if that's some kind of trick or...
Appearing small can be a defense mechanism. You are a hunter, I'm sure you're aware. The less of there is for you to notice, the less likely you are to be noticed.
Makes sense to me. So, where are you hoping to fit in to all this, assuming that we play along and continue with our situation with these Sabbat?
I wish primarily to simply be in the prince's good graces. I've been invited to the chantry. I was there recently tonight. It is, for all intents and purposes, where I belong as a Tremere. At the chantry, and it offers the protection that I need.
Oh, I guess it's good that you have that. For you, anyway.
I would extend the invitation, but I cannot, because you are not
That's
Tremere.
not something I need. while you're here, I was curious about a potential project.
Oh?
Your kind know about blood bonds, I think they're called.
Yes. I've done some research on them.
Now, when this happens, is it done willingly, or can one be forced?
They are often forced upon fledgling Tremere, or were before the fall of the pyramid. My bond was broken as well when my sire was killed in Vienna.
He would have no idea what any of that meant.
I was keeping a straight face. I'm thinking in my head, pyramids in Vienna. What the hell is he talking about?
If any of this is going over your head, please.
No, I get it.
But a blood bond very much can be forced, but they can also be given willingly. Not by myself, as I am Tremere. We cannot bond other kindred.
Right.
Only mortals, and we can only create ghouls. I'm not even certain of how we're still able to proliferate our blood with how it's changed. Why the interest in bonds?
Like I said, it's a project, a solution to some of the problems I might be facing right now.
You seek a
Possibly.
vinculum?
It's something to consider. I was considering that, possibly just finding someone unlucky enough to get staked and just kind of keeping them around as a snack on. I'm not sure
Well-
how effective it would be, because I haven't tried anything like this before. Like I said, I'm moving into a bigger terrain. This is a challenge for me.
Of course. Well, one who is in torpor cannot initiate a blood bond. Neither can I if you become so hungry.
I don't have to worry about that. Ever. No. I'm glad we got to know a bit about each other, I guess. To be honest, I know I'm capable, but what you and what Aaron can do doesn't make the most sense to me. And I feel like it's only a little natural to feel threatened by it.
Our powers are different, certainly. Aaron's more esoteric. I don't know quite as much about his as I do the other forms of our magic, our kindred magic.
It's all weird shit I can't see or touch to me. I tear people apart.
Of course.
It's in no
and
way
there's
comparable.
Something to be said for that. I cannot so effectively dispatch an enemy without going as far overboard as you saw. At least not at my current level.
Well, for now, I'm glad we see eye to eye.
And if you should ever desire to learn a little more about our, my clan, I will be happy to enlighten you. Sharing knowledge is a very important thing to my clan.
If it...
That knowledge might be might not be something they're so keen on me sharing, but we are a family in a sense.
Right. If it strengthens the trust that we've got going, and I feel like we'll need it in the coming nights, because like I said, there's definitely a conflict looming overhead,
Yes, there is.
then I would welcome that. But for now, I do have other places to be before the sun comes up.
Of course.
Right. Okay, so Willow and Clara come back probably about 3 hours before sunup. Everything's been burned, and you're carrying a big box of ash. So Clara toddles off to her room and slams the door, and now you can hear The Cure being played entirely too loud. And Aaron kind of just like, hey.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
I would like to speak with you for a second, if you don't mind.
Okay, I'll just put this down. I'll just put it on my box of ash.
It is a
What is that?
big box of ash.
It is rose fertilizer. It used to be a person, but now it's rose fertilizer.
Used to be several people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing that has something to do with...
I taught her how to clean up her leftovers. I mean, they're starting to smell.
Yeah, I guess I'm not doing such a good job at all of this.
Yeah.
To be fair, my upbringing was very different.
I suppose so.
The first night that Claire was here, I saw you kind of glared over a little.
Oh, yes. She's going to be very, very fun.
Fun.
Yes.
How so?
I guess not in a way you would think is fun, but I think she's going to be very fun. Jane thinks she's going to be really, really, really fun.
I spoke with the Malkavians in the court, and they were saying some pretty strange things.
Oh, yeah, we do that in large numbers.
Yeah, they had this whole shining kind of twin vibe thing going on. It's a movie.
Oh,
Yeah. It's a very good, decent movie.
okay.
Yeah, I didn't understand what I created, and
Oh,
that they
I
were
don't
waiting for
do.
this.
See, thing about Malkavians, we love having fun. And we really don't care if the world just catches on fire. All we want to do is, survive long enough to dance a little bit in the flames. And I think Clara might just be able to do that for us.
I know they spoke of some prophecy.
Oh, yes, prophecies.
Hmm.
Right.
Do you have any idea of what prophecy?
Oh. Hmm.
Or maybe this is something I made my ex Captain Stutter.
Yes, the mighty Chihuahua might be better at that.
Well, I mean, seems like you and Claire are getting along. Well,
I'm going to be her fairy dead mother. And teach her all the wonderful little things. Though, I can't teach her how to poke the shadows. I don't know how to do that. You know how to do that?
I know a great many things about shadows.
You should teach her things about the shadows. I think she would like the shadows.
I think maybe I should be a little bit better at this. Maybe you can give me a few pointers. Or
Well, she did respond well to me threatening to put her back in the body bag. So,
And what were y'all going to do with that body bag?
I was gonna give it to Violet as a present.
Yeah, she's not getting that body bag. I really would appreciate not that.
Okay.
That was the
Well.
body bag you were put in, wasn't it? Oh.
No, I was put in like a massive trench
Oh.
full of other dead corpses.
Violet had a body bag last game, and
Yeah, she
And
was beating it with a
she's-
baseball bat.
and her guest is smelling funny.
Still kind of wondering who that was. Some random guy she picked up.
Ex-boyfriend, I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, continue.
Who knows? Well, all I can say is I saw a tower and it was burning. But before that, there was a shadow. So I'm sure that had something to do with y'all's nice little shadow poking abilities.
Tower. Possibly the Ivory Tower.
One would assume so.
I wouldn't mind seeing that burn.
Yeah.
Maybe I should talk to Clara some other time. Try to maybe fix some of the things I've done so far.
That might be a good idea. 'Cause I can't teach her everything.
Well, I thank you for speaking with me about this.
No problem. I'm going to go and sprinkle this on my flowers now.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh boy.